Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Abundant Mind. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm really excited to record this episode. The idea came this morning actually on my drive to my little studio at my office. Today's episode is called Reconnecting with Your Inner Child as an Adult. And I think this is a very interesting topic because I feel like a lot of people in society are very disconnected from their inner child. And to start this episode off with something that will maybe pique your interest, I talk to older people, I've seen this said online by older individuals, and they say the key to being happy like throughout your life is to never lose that childlike self, to always to this be a child almost. And I'm not saying to get rid of your responsibilities, but it's that when you see like older people like just having fun, they're free, they're still connected to their inner child. And you should listen to older people that are still really enjoying their life because they obviously have figured something out. I'm really excited to dive into this episode though. Let's do it. I think first you really need to understand what is your inner child. So we'll just like take it back. We'll go back in time. I don't know how old you are, but your inner child is going to be that version of yourself before they started to experience pain. And pain as in just like, I don't know, traumatic events where you start to kind of lose your inner child. So we think about children. Children are very honest, like up until 7, they're very honest. They tell you the truth. They're just themselves. There is no ego behind a child. They're so new to this world. They have so much curiosity. They have so much curiosity, and they're so free. Children are so non-judgmental, and they just say it how it is. They really do. They really do. It's awesome. It really is awesome. And that version of you is really your true self as an inner child. Because kids, since they literally don't have an ego, like little kids, like I'm saying under 7, they don't have an ego. Like that is their truest self. And it's very interesting because I feel like, at least in Western society, like most of us lose sense of our inner child, right? And I really do believe that leads to a lot of suffering because when you're disconnected from your inner child, you really aren't connected to your true self. So this act that we go through in our life, it's almost like the remembering of how to be our inner child again and being connected to our inner child. That will bring you a lot of peace and joy back into your life, honestly, because if you don't reconnect with your inner child, you're literally blocking off your heart to who you truly are. I hope that made sense. I really do hope I explained that in a way that most people can understand. There's an array of reasons for everyone why you may have been disconnected from your inner child. It could just be Western culture in North America. It could just be you experienced a lot of traumas as a kid and you had to grow up a lot faster than other kids. So you almost had to become an adult way too soon. There's an array of reasons. You may have been bullied for things you liked and you stopped liking those things. It's different really for everyone. And the reason I bring this up is that it's really important to reflect on your childhood and understand why, like where you experienced a lot of pain, because that pain manifests in the present moment as an adult. It really does. Like, your traumas as a kid really do affect you as an adult. Um, like, actually though, and a lot of that does stem from your mother and your father. They do have the biggest impact on your childhood, because they are most likely the two individuals that did the vast majority of parenting and raising you. So, and the thing is, no parent is perfect. I don't think any parent can like perfectly provide for their kids. It's like when they have you, there's no manual on how to raise a kid. There's literally no manual. And that like, this is it's a deep topic. I don't want to like. I think this could call for like many episodes, because it's very vast. Um, I I really started to like reconnect with my inner child maybe like 4 years ago, and it's been a very up and down experience, just reflecting on everything that happened in my childhood, my relationship with my parents, to understanding why I keep repeating patterns as an adult, because a lot of it does stem from childhood. It really does. Like for myself, I used to really lack self-confidence immensely, and that stemmed from my childhood. Honestly, I was bullied a little bit. I felt very out of place until I was an adult. I just felt like I was almost like an alien. I don't even know how to else explain it. It just felt like I was just in the wrong world. I never felt like I could fit in, so I lacked a lot of self-confidence, and that manifested in my early 20s. So just having a lot of really bad friends that never had the best intentions for me and just wanted to take from me. And that's another thing too. It's like, you can't look at your life as an adult right now and like victim blame, like play the victim while like something horrific may have happened in your childhood, but that's like not a reason to be a shitty person. You can't use that as a scapegoat. It's playing a victim will never get you anywhere in life. It's not helpful. It's not helpful. Like, no one is coming to save you. No one's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And that really does start with reconnecting with your inner child. It really does. Rebuilding that connection with your inner child looks different for everyone. It looks different for everyone. So I don't know what you were into as a kid. For myself, at least, I was really into collecting like Pokemon cards, hockey cards. I collected like rocks and crystals. I love that. I loved like collecting things. I really enjoyed that a lot. And as an adult now, like I don't play Pokemon anymore, but I buy little like Pokemon little souvenirs and knickknacks, and I have some cool crystals. I have some damn cool crystals, actually. My room was just like cluttered with like little things that honestly like my child self would absolutely love, honestly. And it's great. It really is great. And I'm not saying you should go collect Pokemon things. That's not the point of this. The point of this is that I'm sure there's like things you loved as a kid, and it doesn't have to be actually like a physical thing. It doesn't have to be like an actual like object. It could be you loved going to the water park as a kid, and then you grew up and thought you can never go to the water park again. How about as an adult you go to the water park by yourself with some friends or maybe a partner, and just go have fun? And that's the thing, like as an adult, like it doesn't mean you have to stop having fun. Like like we're all just big kids, honestly. No one really knows what they're doing as an adult. We all pretend like we know what we're doing. But at the end of the day, like literally every human you look at, even people that are like 80 years old, think about your grandpa, your uncle, your aunt. They all were children too at one point. And that's something, it brings a lot of, I feel like you can be a lot more compassionate when you look at someone and realize like that person had a childhood too, and they were a child at one point. It really changes your perspective on looking at older people that you've never got to see your parents as kids, but they were kids too, and they had a childhood, and that really did change my perspective on my parents. I was like, it's an interesting thing to think about, honestly. Reconnecting with your inner child, it looks different for everyone. Like, and I'm not saying like every day you gotta like do something to connect with your inner child. That's not what I'm saying. It's just knowing when your inner child wants to be seen and heard. Because a lot of us have like blocked out our inner child because we had to grow up. Some traumatic events happened to you, whatever it is. There's a part of you, part of your inner child. It could be when you're 5, when you're 12, 15, 3 years old. You don't know. But that part of you feels scared. It might feel like it's not seen. It might feel like it's not loved. And you have to love all parts of yourself. You have to love every version of yourself, to see yourself fully, to not hide away from who you are. And reconnecting with your inner child, it really is going to send you down a path of deep healing. Deep healing. I've done a lot of like journaling and reflecting on my childhood. I've done a lot of like meditations, or just even like closing my eyes and going into like a little meditation or like visual experience where I imagine my child self, and a version of my child self will pop up from a certain age that wants to be seen, and I'll have a conversation with my child self from like the age of 7 and talk about all the things we're doing, that we're confident now and we have lots of amazing friends, and we're not worried about, we don't feel like we're not loved, and we give ourselves all of that love that we deserve. And like telling your childlike self these things really does heal wounds that probably were affecting you in your adulthood. And I don't know, for some people, like they'll listen to this and they'll go like, it might go completely over their head. But that's the thing, like if you can't like take a moment to sit down, close your eyes and just think about yourself as a child, and think about I'm not saying all times are bad, but like there are parts of yourself that like need to be seen and heard, and like it's very personal. It honestly is very personal. And I'm sure there are things, the more you think about it, the more things will come to the surface, honestly. Yeah. I honestly like pretty frequently have conversations with my child self. Different versions of my child self from different ages I had. Sometimes when I'm 15, I talk to my 7-year-old self, whatever it is. And I'll just reflect on like who we used to be and the dreams we used to have, and talk to him about the things we're doing and the man I am becoming, the man who I am today. And that reflection is so healing. It's so fulfilling. It just like brings like things full circle almost. I don't know how to explain it fully. You need to try it. And like I even reflect on, like, this kind of goes away from the inner child, but like I reflect on myself, who I was a year ago. I think back to like a year ago today, like where was I? What was I experiencing? Who I am now. It's like, wow, I've grown so much. And it's very impactful thing to reflect on who you were, because the the best person to compare yourself to is your past self. Is your past self. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Seriously. Comparison is the thief of joy. If you have a problem with comparing yourself to others, please write that down on your mirror, in your notes app, make it your wallpaper. Comparison is the thief of joy. And it truly is. There will always be someone with more things than you, that will look better than you, that will have more money, more accomplishments, look like they're living a better life than you. There will always be someone like that if you compare yourself to others. And it's still good to like look at others for inspiration and see what's possible and take bits and pieces that resonate with you. That's good. But don't compare yourself, because comparison is it's a slippery slope. It's not a fun slope. I hope this episode has brought some new ideas to your head, some new thoughts that you haven't really thought about. Just ponder them throughout the week. Think about it. Connect with your childlike self. What versions of your childlike self come to mind when you think about pain? Those are probably some root causes you need to dive deeper into. Healing is not a linear experience. It's up and down, so there's no timeline on healing. I feel like we're always growing and expanding, so be compassionate with yourself. Give yourself grace because you deserve it. And I hope you have a fantastic day because you deserve it. You're amazing. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I really do appreciate your time. It's mid-September. I think October, I will definitely be posting my first episode with a live guest. Super stoked for that. Much love. I'll see you next time. Peace.